Alright, what up? We're going to be making a character for Twilight 2004E using the Lifepath method. I filmed a video of this uh, during the alpha, though the rules have changed a little bit, and so we're going to be going over how to make a character. That's going to be like a little crash course, not going to be a full tour, or maybe it will be, let's see. So I've got a character sheet set up here, just named him our guy, because why not? And then I've got these two die roller bots here at rolladie.net. That are very useful for this purpose. Um, so to start out with, uh, we start with a fresh and inexperienced person, 18 years old. So let's write, keep track, just keep track of the age on your. I don't know, fucking know. And coolness under fire is D, so we're gonna start with D. There's no on this one sheet that I got pre-alpha. There's no thing for age or life path details, so uh, when you do it, you're going to have to, when you make a life path character, you have to do it on your own. So next we choose our nationality. Most PCs will be American or locals, but you can be any nationality you like. So in this case, we'll just say our guy is American, but there's no place to write American. We'll do right here, American. Uh, Next, to determine attributes. This is the one thing that changed, well, one of the things that changed during the alpha, or well, during the alpha and I think the beta, but I'm not sure. Where you previously had, I believe, 4 attribute increases, but now you roll a 2d3 to determine how many attribute increases you get. So we're going to go here, and I've already set it up. We roll 2 die, 3-sided, go. So 3 and 1, so we get 4 total. And now, I'm not sure what we'll do for this character. Let's say they all start at C. Uh, And so, let's see, what options do we have? I'm just going to kind of look ahead. Um, how about we're going to make like a strong military type. So we're going to have our character be, dial up A and A. So that's total 4 increases. If we wanted to get this up to say B, we'd have to drop empathy to D, because you can get a point back by decreasing a skill. Um, and next, uh, roll a D6 on the childhood to determine your background. What's important is that in some cases you can choose manually. Mainly depends on what your GM wants, or your referee, I should say. Uh, so in this case, we'll roll d6. So we got a 6, and 6 is affluence or affluence, and so that's our childhood is affluence, and I'll write that down here. And we have 3 different skills we could pick from: mobility, command, and persuasion. Uh, what's important to note is that you can always choose the generally available skills are stamina, mobility, and driving. So we'll say, let's take a look. Command, why not? Or actually, no, let's get a free rank of mobility. That sounds like a better decision. So mobility will now go up from nothing to D. Um, and then we roll another d6 to get our specialty. So we roll a d6, and the specialty is 4, so that is linguist, which is a good one. So linguist, and what I'll do is also write linguist here. I'm not going to write out all the descriptions. So, all right, next. Um, so next up, we choose a career for our first term. Military or civilian. Among the options listed on the following pages, there are requirements for entry. Um, so we'll have him join the, join the army. So you start out in combat arms, and well, I mean, you can start in, you know, combat arms because the requirements are strength or agility B plus, and we've got B for both. Uh, And let's see, so our starting rank is private, and let's see, so you go to, I'm just scrolling through the pages here. So when you pick the career, uh, you increase 2 skills 1 step each, or 1 skill 2 steps, choosing among the skills listed for your career, or the general available skills mobility, stamina, and driving. If you choose a skill you didn't have, it starts at level D. But in military service, one of your first increases has to be ranged combat. So we're going to get range combat, go from D to C, because we're going to use 2 increases for that. And next, uh, excuse me, we make an unmodified skill roll for one of the skills increased in step 6. And the important thing to note is that uh, with rolls in this game, you always factor in the attribute and the skill. So, which might seem easy, but you can, in fact, it is entirely possible to not receive a promotion. Let's see. So, and then you can add a dice here. So we're going to say this is a 1d12, or oops, 112, and then our range combat is C, so that is a d8. Let's see. Okay, so 6 or higher, that is an increase. So now we receive a promotion. So we go down to back to military careers and combat arms. We can roll a d6. Oh, hold on, wait. Yeah, roll a d6 and see what we get. That is a 5, and a 5 is launcher crew. So I'm gonna write launcher crew, and we also, when we get promoted, um, when you make a skill roll, you choose a special. You get your specialty. If you're in a military career, you increase your rank by 1 step, and you also increase your coolness under fire by 1 step. So we go from private to private first class, and our coolness under fire goes from D to C. So next, we age our character D6 years. So they go from 18 to 24, and we roll a D8. So I'm going to just change that to D8, and that is a 7. If the result is lower than the number of terms you've completed, which it wasn't, then you must reduce one attribute of your choice by 1 step due to the effects of age. You cannot go below D, but you cannot get an attribute reduction directly after your first term. So that basically doesn't matter. Now we roll a D8 again, and that is a 4. If the result is lower than the number of terms you've completed, war will break out. So now if it has not broken out, because it can't happen after your first term that I know of, we go back to step 5, and we get to choose another career. So um, when you choose another career, you can continue looping around in the same career, or you can choose something else. So let's say we wanted to go into Special Operations Forces. So the requirements for Spec Ops, strength and agility is B, which we have. Intelligence has to be C or higher, and at least 1 turn in combat arms. So we've got all 3 of that. Um, and now the next step would be, it's pretty much lather, rinse, repeat. Um, you can choose um, uh, the skills for special operations. We've got close combat, range combat, recon, survival. Recon is pretty important, so this time we're going to say we get um, 2 ranks of recon. Why not? So 2 ranks of recon, so that goes from D to C, and we're going to um, let's see. So now back to step 6. Oh, actually, this is still step 6. Um, make the skill roll. So this is going to be 2d8. And do we get a promotion? Yes, we do. 6 or higher. So um, we now get to roll a d6. So 1 and d6. So that is 3. And what is that? So the 3 is Infiltrator, which is really good. So let's see. Infiltrator. And as per usual, Oh, that's interesting. I just read. So apparently, and I didn't know this. If you roll a specialty you already have, you can choose a specialty you want instead, which is good to know. So you don't have. So that I believe has changed where you no longer have to keep rolling. You can just choose whatever you want. But anyway, so the important thing to note here is that we um, were in like what's interesting, and they don't explicitly say this, but to my understanding, with special operations, you automatically jump up a rank, um, which counts as a promotion. Um, so we've gone from PFC to sergeant, and another promotion, which would automatically bring up the coolness under fire from C to B, and then we just got promoted to I believe staff sergeant, which brings us from B to A. Um, and let's see. So and we got a specialty, uh, and our coolness and fire. Yeah, the only way to bump up your coolness under fire, just so that's clear, is either in military or in intelligence. Um, so if you want to make like a cop or something, you're not going to be able to level up your coolness under fire unless you spend some time in the military. So now back to aging D6 years. So we age 5 years, so we go from 24 to 29. Um, and roll a D8. So let's roll a D8, and that is 8. So we do not have any attribute reductions. And roll a D8. 1. So war has broken out, and because we completed 2 terms and we got a 1, so that's war has broken out. So uh, let's see. So once war, so we go to step 9, choose the at war career. Let me go over to it. Several pages away. So at war. Um, for the final at war term, you may increase any 2 skills of your choice by 1 step each. You cannot increase 1 skill 2 steps. So we're going to say we increase range combat to B and then recon to B. And then we roll a D6 uh, and depending on what last career we had, there are military, blue collar, white collar, and other. And so military, we're going to roll. Let's see, where's our D6? D oh, D6. So that's a 5, which is Scrounger. So let's write Scrounger. Scrounger. Um, and so let's see. So and then you pick the specialty, and let's just go back and double check the rules. And then from there, it pretty much plays out like the archetype rules. You determine your hit and stress capacities, which are pretty much they explain that pretty well in the book. Um, they they mention like the unimorale, which is the command level, the highest command level of the PCs, your moral code, your big dream, blah blah blah. So, but in terms of the actual life path method, this is basically how it's done. And even though, and you can potentially go up to, I mean, in theory, 8 terms, and you can end up with some pretty powerful characters. Because I mean, here we are, uh, we've got 4 specialties already, whereas archetypes only let you start with 1. You can easily max out your skills. So archetypes, if you want more developed characters and uh, more powerful characters in terms of gameplay, then life paths are the way to go. So, hope this was informative, and I will catch you guys next time.